Tonight in Westwood, a national championship rematch will take center stage as the top two teams in the country meet under the lights of a legendary arena. You are listening to national champion Long Beach State Men's Volleyball on 22 West Radio, streaming live on YouTube and online at 88.1 KKJZ HD3. Good evening and welcome inside Pauley Pavillion. It's a pleasure to have you with us on a Friday night. I'm JayDe Beaudry coming to you courtside for an NCAA men's volleyball non-conference face-off between number 2 Long Beach State and number 1 UCLA. There isn't a hotter ticket for volleyball fans across America tonight than this game here in Southern California. It was only 2 weeks ago that undefeated and number 1 ranked UCLA avenged last season's national championship loss to Long Beach State in a shocking reverse sweep. As the Beach saw their 2-set lead slip away in front of a sold-out home crowd, it was the Bruins who reminded the volleyball landscape why they are the favorites to retake the crown in 2026. For the past 2 seasons, it has been these two programs battling for the national championship, and all signs point to a collision course once again, as the final game of the season will be staged right here at Pauley Pavillion in April. Long Beach State head coach Nick McRae, in his first season at helm of Long Beach State, a program he has spent a decade preparing for, has named a starting lineup with no surprises. For the second straight game, the 6 on the floor remain the same. At the center position, Jake Pizzanti, who has taken over from Moni Nikolov this year, last year's AVCA National Player of the Year and excelled, gets the start at center. The middle blocker pairing is Jackson Chris, the man leading the Big West in blocks per set, and Ben Braun at the middle blocker 2 spot. And the two best servers in the nation will occupy the pins for Long Beach State, Skylar Varga and Alex Kondev. By every metric you measure it by, those two guys are the best servers in all of NCAA Division I men's volleyball. And a change from the last time these two teams met at opposite. Wojciech Gajek, the freshman from Poland, gets the start. It was Daniil Hrstanovic who took to the floor last time these two teams met inside the pyramid. At the libero position is Kellen Larson. Second-year UCLA head coach John Hawks, who spent 7 years here as an assistant under the legendary John Speraw, names a starting 6 that was his usual rotation for most of the season. It's Andrew Rowan at center position, who has led this team to an over 500 hitting clip to start this season, the nation's best. The middle blocker pairing remains the same as it did throughout the first 9 games of the season. Cameron Thorne alongside Micah Wong Diallo in the last matchup between these two teams. Hawks made a change at the middle blocker position, starting Christopher Hirsch. Tonight, Hirsch is on the bench. The outside hitters are just as deadly for UCLA. Sean Kelly and Zach Rama will occupy the pins. It was Rama who had 21 kills against Long Beach State in the pyramid, and opposite, David Decker once again returns for UCLA. Chris Connolly, the Long Beach State transfer, is the L1. He just has subbed onto the floor for serve-receive, coming off back-to-back games with 10 or more kills, including a career-high 13 against his former program. Serving first for the Beach will be Skylar Varga. Varga, in his senior season, stands 6'7". The outside from Saskatchewan, Canada, is the nationwide leader in aces, has 29 to this point in the season. He has been unstoppable from behind the service line. However, he's coming off his first game of the season where he failed to register an ace against Vanguard in the pyramid. Had 2 last time against UCLA, and he's the one who gets us started here at Pauley Pavillion. Served hard to the back row, dug out by Rama. Rowan over to the left side. Off the block goes Zach Rama for his first kill. Rama's on the board, and so are the Bruins, off the head of Ben Braun and Wojciech Gajek in the front row. For UCLA, first man behind the service line is Andrew Rowan, the senior setter, the best in UCLA history. Also a deadly server. This one goes off the tape. Pizzanti forced into the first touch. Skylar Varga sets from the back row to Alex Kondev, left side, into a triple block. He's blocked and roofed. Cameron Thorne and David Decker in the vicinity, and the Bruins are up 2-0. It was Rowan's serve off the tape that forced Jake Pizzanti, the setter, to take the first touch. And Long Beach could not get an out-of-system kill to fall their way. Rowan behind the service line again, 22 aces for him this season. Rowan hard and across, dug out by Larson, up to Pizzanti. Goes quick to the middle for Ben Braun, kept alive in the back row. Out-of-system swing coming from Zach Rama from the back row. Dug out, no, not by Larson, it hit the floor. What a kill and what a swing from Zach Rama. He led both teams in the first matchup this season with 21 kills, that time swinging from beyond the 10-foot line. It dipped right in front of Kellen Larson, and the Bruins are up by 3 here in set 1. Rowan serves again, dug out by Larson. Medium system set from Pizzanti. Left side, Kondev across the double block. He just cannot catch the back line, and that's 4 straight points to open up set 1 for UCLA. Alex Kondev, the sophomore outside from Sofia, Bulgaria, coming off a game where he had 7 aces against Vanguard. He has been playing second fiddle to Skylar Varga. Still looking to get the Beach on the board here as Rowan serves. UCLA up by 4. Kondev passes up to the Jumbotron. Pazzanti quick to the middle for Ben Braun, who gets the beach on the board with his first kill. Ben Braun, the tallest man on the floor tonight, standing 6'11", the Rancho Mirage, California native and Ohio State transfer in his third season with the beach. He now takes up service responsibilities. 1 serving 4, float serve across from Braun. Passed out the back row by Kelly. Rowan, medium system to Cameron Thorne. And the Bruins feed the middle for the first time. It's Cameron Thorne who elevates and makes it look all too easy off a negative tempo set from Andrew Roman. The chemistry those two have is second to none. 5 serving 1 now. Rama across, passed out by Larson. Pazzanti sets to the big for Skylar Varga. Oh, Canada! As Skylar Varga comes from the back row and lays down the lumber. Long Beach still down by 3. 2 serving 5 now as Wojciech Gajek, the freshman opposite, steps behind the service line. Gajek tosses high and booms it right into the tape, and the Pauley Pavillion faithful are on their feet. A packed out student section and the lower bowl filled on 2 of the 4 sides tonight. The UCLA faithful has shown up for this one, and they put off the freshman opposite. That's first service error of the night for Long Beach State. Thorne serves. Passed out by Varga. Pazzanti, D-set to Gajek. Rolls it over the double block. Dug out easily by Rowan. Off 2. It's a fake set from Rama. Over to Michael Wong-Diallo. What a play from UCLA. Firing on all cylinders are the Bruins. And they've opened up a 7-2 lead in set 1. Rama faked the set from the back row. Got it over to Michael Wong-Diallo. And there were no blockers up for the beach. Back to serve now is Cameron Thorne. Hard float across, dug out by Varga. Pazzanti over to the left side. Kondev gets it off the double block, and it's blocked and roofed. Back onto the Long Beach side. UCLA are up and running here at Pauley Pavillion. 8-2, timeout Long Beach. Nick McRae has seen enough here in set 1. It's UCLA hitting 1,000 through the first 10 points as we step away on 22 West Radio. Timeout breaks here at Pauley Pavillion. UCLA up 8-2 on Long Beach State in set number 1. It was the Beach who took the first 2 sets off the Bruins at the LBS Financial Credit Union Pyramid 2 weeks ago before the Bruins stormed back in a reverse sweep. Here in set 1, a different story. UCLA hitting 1,000, Long Beach hitting negative 143 through the first 10 points. Zach Rama already with 2 kills, including a highlight set as well to Micah Wong-Diallo. It's Cameron Thorne, who is back to serve now for UCLA. Thorne, the senior middle blocker, stands 6'4", native of Hollywood, Florida. One of the most efficient middle blockers in the nation, hitting .606 to this point in the season. Last year, a first-team All-American, also named to the MPSF first team. He hit .521 last year, the 5th best mark for a Bruin all-time. And there have been some all-timers through this program. Thorne serves to the back row, passed by Kondev, medium system set Pazzanti, D-set to Gajek, off of Cameron Thorne's chest, and it floats beyond the back row. And the Beach break the 3-0 run for UCLA and get their 3rd point here in set 1. Solid set from Pazzanti off the net to Gajek, who made the Bruins pay. Alex Kondev, fresh off a 7-ace performance against Vanguard, serves for the first time tonight. Serves it hard and into the front row behind the court. Kondev caught that one all wrong. And Long Beach State now with 2 errors behind the service line and a 6-point deficit. David Decker back to serve now, the redshirt junior opposite from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Tosses high, the left-handed swinger gets it to Kondev, dug out, and the Beach scramble to keep it alive. It's Varga bumping it over from the back row. Connolly first touch. Rowan, D-set, goes over to Decker. He's blocked and roofed. Jackson Christ wheels away in celebration as David Decker is denied on the right side. Kellen Larson subs out as well for the Beach. Back on is Ben Braun. Christ, tongue out, tosses high, serves across, dug out by Connolly. Rowan looks around, sets quick to the middle on 2 for Michael Wong Diallo. Wong Diallo, a good 2 feet in the air, gets over the double block and powers it down. UCLA the first to 10 here in set 1. It's 10 serving 4 with Sean Kelly, the sophomore, opposite behind the service line. Right-handed swinger, tosses high, booms across, passed out by Varga. Pizzanti, D-set to Gayak, goes cross-court for the kill. Some hesitation from the line judges as Gayak unloaded from the right side and painted area 1 right past Sean Kelly. Jake Pizzanti back to serve now for the Beach. Pizzanti tosses, booms it into the tape again. The third service error here for Long Beach State, and UCLA not being troubled to this point by the best serving team in the nation. Long Beach State averaging just under 3 aces per set through 13 games. And 3 costly service errors here early. 11 serving 5, Wong Diallo across. Larson passes up to Pizzanti. D-set goes to Skylar Varga, touches it across. Now Andrew Rowan sets to the back off the double block. Goes Kelly, and it's into the stands. Sean Kelly coming from the back row gets his second kill of the night. UCLA on fire as Long Beach State are now down 13-5. Wong Diallo serves again. Floats to the back row. Kondev overpass, blasted down by Zach Rama. And it looks like Pizzanti also crossed over the dividing line. So a double negative there for the Beach as UCLA extends their lead here in set 1. Wong Diallo behind the service line now. The junior middle blocker, Los Angeles native, graduate of John Marshall High School in his junior season. Serves across, Kondev, pass it to Pizzanti. D-set goes to Varga, and he catches the line. When in need, dial up Skylar Varga. On the right side, he breaks another 3-0 scoring run for UCLA. It's now 6 serving 13. As Skylar Varga steps back for his second serving trip of the night. Varga booms it across, off the hand of Chris Connolly for an ace. There's the service pressure Long Beach State had been waiting on as Skylar Varga uncorks a serve. Dead center off the hands of his former teammate Chris Connolly. 6 serving 13. 7 serving 13, excuse me. Varga, hard from the back row. Errant pass from Rama. Chased into the benches by Decker, bumped across by Rama. First touch goes to Larson. Pizzanti, quick to the middle. Ben Braun dug out and out of bounds off the hands of Chris Connolly. Ben Braun picks up his second kill. Timeout UCLA. Long Beach State on a 3-0 run of their own now. Down by 5, 13-8 here in set 1, and John Hawks calls timeout. Hawks in his second season at the helm of UCLA was an assistant for 7 years under John Speraw before Speraw, the long-tenured UCLA head coach, took over as the president of USA Volleyball, the head of everything volleyball here in America. It was John Hawks, who was at Loyola Chicago when he got the call saying that a position had opened up here at UCLA, and he left that job at Loyola Chicago, a program he turned into a national contender over his time there to come and take over here at UCLA. Hawks just the 3rd head coach in UCLA men's volleyball history. Following the legendary Al Skates and John Speraw, it was Hawks who took over last season and had a tough time getting his feet underneath him. And not only did he leave his family back in Chicago, but a few of his guys lost homes in the fires down here in Southern California. And despite all the adversity, UCLA still looked like one of the best teams in the country through and through. They made it all the way to that national championship game against Long Beach State at the Covelli Center and fell just short. John Hawks still says that he regrets some of his decision-making in that second set of the national championship with Moni Nikolov on the line in a decisive point in the match where Long Beach were able to turn the tide. UCLA has come into this season with a renewed energy, looking to get back on top. Their last national championship came 2 years ago when they defeated Long Beach State. The winningest program as well in the history of UCLA athletics is men's volleyball. 21 national championships. They're looking for number 22 here in 2026. Timeout breaks and Skylar Varga back behind the service line. 8 serving 13. Varga serves it right to Rama. Rowan median system back to Rama. He's blocked and roofed. Big Ben Braun gets the solo stuff. Wojciech Gajek also locking down the line shot. But it's Ben Braun who picks up the block. A 4-0 run now for Long Beach State, 9 serving 13. Varga tosses and rolls a serve across, dug out by Connolly on a diving save. Out of system set goes to Rama, kept alive by Kondev. Pazanti over to Gajek, right side through the double block. Connolly gets a touch, but it's not enough. And Rama wants a challenge. As it stands, Long Beach have ripped off 5 straight points. It's John Hawks who's going to challenge, getting some instructions from his players. They're going to challenge that it was 4 touches from Long Beach State on their side of the floor. For Long Beach State, it's Nick McRae at the helm in his first season as a head coach. Nick McRae, a man who bleeds black and gold, educated at St. Joseph's Elementary, born and raised in Long Beach, graduated from Wilson High School, played as a libero at Long Beach City College before Alan Knipe, the legendary Long Beach State head coach, recruited him to play for Long Beach State. And after 2 years as a libero where he only played 1 match, it was Alan Knipe who called Nick McRae back from a financial position he had lined up at Merrill Lynch. He said, "Hey, Nick McRae, you remember that conversation we had when I first recruited you, asking whether or not you were ever interested in coaching?" And Nick McRae said, "Yeah, let me give it a shot." Nick McRae then spent the next 13 years on Alan Knipe's staff, learning from one of the greatest problem solvers in men's volleyball history. Coached the likes of TJ DeFalco, Josh Chuaniga, and Kyle Ensing, and has been prepared extensively for this head coaching role over the past 5 years. McRae gives all of his credit to Alan Knipe. And to be in a stage like this, in a situation like this, leading the #2 team in the nation is really no big deal for Nick McRae, who has been ready for this role for just under half a decade now. Challenge is won by UCLA. Indeed, it was Long Beach committing 4 touches on their side of the net. And now Andrew Rowan serves, 14 serving 9. Passed wildly out of the back row by Larson, and it's an ace for Andrew Rowan. The setter sees Skylar Varga dial up an ace and says, "I'll do you one better." Right to the libero in area 5. Kellen Larson, the errant pass, and a rare error for the sophomore libero and Irvine native. Rowan serves again, 15 serving 9. Right back to Larson, but this one's too long. Larson lets it go, and Andrew Rowan is off the service line. Rowan dials up fastballs nearly every time he's behind that service line. He was the one who ended the match with a 5th set ceiling ace against Long Beach State in the Pyramid 2 weeks ago. Now Long Beach make a serving sub into the game for the first time is Ryan Peluso, 6'2" junior, native of Orlando, Florida. Left-handed server, gets it right to Connolly across the net. Rowan ranges underneath, medium set, goes to the back row for Sean Kelly. He gets the kill. And Long Beach State are once again fought off the service line here in set 1 as Peluso subs out in favor of Kellen Larson. 6-point advantage in set 1 for UCLA, 16 serving 10. With Zach Rama behind the line. He tosses, floats it across. Varga pass out the back row. Pazanti D-set to Gajek off the block and out of bounds. Wojciech Gajek picks up his 3rd kill. Now leading the way for Long Beach State is the freshman. Wojciech Gajek spent the 2025 season playing with Poland at the under-21 FIBA World Championships in China. Was the 3rd leading scorer at that tournament. And now here he goes to serve to the back row for Connolly. Rowan, quick to the middle, off rip for Cameron Thorne. And it was always going straight into the hardwood as Thorne, well above the net, sidearmed that ball into the back row. UCLA continue to hit efficiently, hitting nearly 600 here through set 1. It's 17-11 now. And UCLA makes change in service. Spencer Graves, the junior middle blocker, into serve. Floats to the back row for Varga. Pazanti, left side, Kondev. Blocker's not up in time, and Kondev makes him pay off the hands of David Decker, who was late rotating over. And Spencer Graves will sub back out for UCLA. Chris Connolly returns to the floor, and now Long Beach will also go back-to-back on serving subs. Following up Ryan Peluso is Connor Bloom, the senior and captain of this team. Played at outside hitter during the fall season. He is a man Nick McRae has called a closer, and Long Beach certainly need to close the gap here. Down by 5, 12 serving 17 as the Bloom boom rings out around Pauley Pavillion. Bloom serves across, Rowan medium system set, over to Wong Diallo. And a hard swing paints the 10-foot line from Micah Wong Diallo, who has been active here to start this one. 3 kills already. Wong Diallo last year as a sophomore backed up Sean McQuiggan and Matthew Edwards, 2 middle blockers behind Cameron Thorne, and This year has been Wong Diallo's time to shine. 18 serving 12. Decker down the line, dug out by Kondev. Pazanti rises high as Wong Diallo punches it back to the beach side. Pazanti tries to set Jackson Christian. It's too high. Kellen Larson comes from the back row, and it's a back row attack as the libero cannot attack from inside the 10-foot line. And Pazanti's set to Jackson Christ was just too high for the 6'10" middle blocker. A rare error for Long Beach State and Jake Pazanti as Nick McRae takes another timeout. Long Beach are down by 7 in set 1. 19-12, the Bruins look to close the gap and close out set number 1, looking to be the first to the red zone on the other side of the break here on 22 West Radio. Timeout breaks here at Pauley Pavillion. UCLA have come out in set 1 with some fire and a desire to make a statement, hitting .571 and up by 7. It's 19-12, and out of the timeout called by Nick McRae, it'll be David Decker back to serve for the Bruins. Decker yet to register a kill here in set 1, but it has been his teammates stepping up. Sean Kelly and Zach Roma, the two outside hitters, both have 3 for the Bruins. Decker tosses high. Left-handed serve across, passed by Larson, and oh no, it's into the net, and it's an ace for David Decker. Larson continues to struggle in serve receive here in set 1. That ball off his chest, and as Jake Pazanti ranged underneath to try to catch it off the net, it goes down as the second ace in set 1 for UCLA. A 3-0 run for the Bruins. They're the first to the red zone, 20 serving 12. Decker tips the tape. This one's passed by Larson. Pazanti, medium system. Varga swings left side off the chest of Connolly, chasing it into the stands as Rama. He's not going to get there. And Skylar Varga picks up his 3rd kill. Skylar Varga, one of the men on the floor tonight on the AVCA National Player of the Year watch list. It's Varga, Rama, Rowan, the 3 competitors tonight who are expected to contend for National Player of the Year. Skylar Varga would love to make his case here late in set 1 with the Beach down by 7. Jackson Christ serves into the UCLA bench. Second time here in set 1 where the Beach has served it well beyond the end line. That one was caught on the sidelines by Jaden Russell, the junior opposite, and he hits the Heisman pose. As UCLA are up by 8. Sean Kelly serves, looking for the line shot, did not get it. Skylar Varga watches it out with ease. So a service error for UCLA, only their 2nd of the set. Sets up Jake Pazanti behind the line, looking to close this 7-point gap, 14 serving 21. As the Pauley Pavillion student section has not left their feet here in set 1. Passed out of the back row, Rowan sets to the back row, and it's off the block and down. Coming from the back row was Sean Kelly. And a great disguise run out of the front row by Micah Wong Diallo, the middle blocker. Wong Diallo making his presence felt here early as he did not get the start the last time these two teams met. For Long Beach State, they need a run and they need it fast, looking to stack points down the stretch. As Grayson Bradford subs in to serve for UCLA. The freshman outside hitter stands 6'10". He booms it across, passed out by Larson. Pazanti from the front row. D-set goes to Varga, tries to touch it off the block and did not get a touch. 9 times out of 10, those plays from Skylar Varga result in a point. And that time, the UCLA block was not fooled. A touch across from Varga just goes out of bounds, and UCLA are 2 points away from a set 1 victory. Bradford ready to serve again, entered in set 3 against Vanguard in UCLA's matchup. Booms this one across, it's an overpass. Thorne takes the first touch, Rowan underneath, back to Cameron Thorne, oh my! Cameron Thorne, that is outrageous. Sharon brain cells with Andrew Rowan is the middle blocker, and now Pauley Pavillion rises to their feet off an electric kill from Cameron Thorne. A 10-point lead for UCLA in set one. Bradford looking to slam the door. Serves hard and across. Dug out by Varga. Pizzanti, median system to Gajek, right side off the double block, and the Beach stay alive. And the Pauley Pavillion crowd will stay on their feet as Skylar Varga heads behind the service line. Varga already with an ace here in set number one. Canadian readies himself. Tosses low, booms it into the tape. And UCLA takes set number one in commanding fashion. 25-15 the final score, and it ends on a service error from the best server in the nation. Skylar Varga, 3 kills in set one and a service error to end it. UCLA hits 625 in the first frame. Long Beach State hits just 211. And Nick McRae will look to rally the troops here during the break as we head to set two here on 22 West Radio. Second set about to get underway, and it was Nick McRae the last time these two teams met in the post-game interview that said that there would be no BPD in the Long Beach locker room in the weeks leading up to this UCLA game. No blame, no protecting, no defending, as Long Beach State needed to feel the hurt, they needed to feel the sadness, they needed to feel the disappointment of getting reverse swept on their home floor by the Bruins, and they're going to need to reset mentally once again here heading into set two. UCLA comes out and, for lack of a better word, punches the Beach in the mouth. Hitting 625, they run out with a 25-15 set one victory. And now the teams have switched sides for set two. Long Beach tonight rocking all black uniforms with gold trim along the sides. UCLA in their classic white uniforms with the map of Westwood, California embossed in gray across the backs. The liberos for Long Beach State in a white uniform. It's Kellen Larson, the only dressed libero tonight for Long Beach State, and Chris Connolly, the Long Beach transfer, now playing libero for UCLA, clad in all blue with white trim around his shorts. Andrew Rowan will get this second set underway from the service line. Rowan leading the UCLA Bruins to the highest hitting clip in the country so far this season. Pass up to Pizzanti, over to Gajek on the left side, and he pushes it off David Decker's hands and into the pin. Gajek gets the Beach on the board. Oh, excuse me. They're calling that Gajek touched the ball into the pin, not off Decker. It's a point to UCLA. So an attacking error on the first play of set 2 gives the Bruins a 1-0 advantage. Rowan serves hard to the back row. Larson rips a pass up to Pizzanti, medium system set to Gayak on the left side. This swing is dug out by Connolly into the third row of the stands, and now Gayak gets his kill to tie the second set up at 1. Long Beach State in set 1, 5 service errors. Service errors were also a problem the last time these two teams met for the Beach, and they committed 28. This time Varga rolls a serve across. Rowan, back set, goes over to Zach Rama, who gets the kill. Blocker is not up in time, and it's the buttery hands of Andrew Rowan that create so many problems for opposing blockers. That time he waits till the last possible moment to flick it over to the right side for Rama, who puts UCLA up 2-1. Rama, awkward serve as he tossed it way too far in front of him, barely got it back to the net, and a service error for UCLA ties set 2 at 2 apiece. Ben Braun back to serve for Long Beach State. Tosses low, float serve across, passed out of the back row, up to Rowan, quick to Cameron Thorne, off the double blockers for a kill. Cameron Thorne, 4 for his first 4 swings now in the early goings of set 2, hitting 1,000 here on his home floor. Thorne goes back to serve, the transfer from Grand Canyon in his second season here in Westwood. Hard serve to the back row. Larson lets it go, and it's a service error once again for UCLA. Thorne subs out for Chris Connolly and gets a high five from John Hawks as he heads back to the bench. Chris Connolly still looking for his first dig of the match, as UCLA has been able to keep Long Beach out of extended rallies here early in set 2. Gayak now serves down off the net, kept alive by Wong Diallo off an errant pass from Rama. Joust at the net is won by Jake Pizzanti, going head-to-head with Sean Kelly, and Pizzanti with his strong hands wins the joust. Long Beach take their first lead of the night at 4-3 in set 2. Gayak back to serve again. Swings hard and misses the back line. So a service error from Wojciech Gayak, the freshman, ties us up at 4. David Decker last year, 15 appearances for UCLA, was valuable when he was in the rotation. Only 4 starts, has moved into that starting opposite role this season. He serves across and hard, dug out by Larson. Pizzanti medium system out to Kondev, off the double block. It's Rama who rises in the back row with one hand to keep it alive, but he can't get there. It'll go down as a kill for Alex Kondev. Off that last serve receive, it was Kellen Larson who slapped his thigh. A lot of passes out of the back row and serve receive for Larson have resulted in medium system attacks for Long Beach, meaning Jake Pizzanti has to range beyond the 10-foot line to make the set happen. He gets a high five from Nick McRae before Alex Kondev now serves across. It's an overpass that goes out of bounds. Alex Kondev gets the ace for Long Beach State. And Kellen Larson with some silent fist pumps and claps in the direction of Alex Kondev, who is all business behind the service line. 2-point advantage now for Long Beach State, 6 serving 4. Kondev rolls it across, passed out of the back row, up to Rowan, quick to Wong Diallo, and the blockers aren't there for the Beach. Wong Diallo, another kill, his third already. And UCLA is only down by 1, 5 serving 6, with Sean Kelly behind the service line, who had 14 kills in the Pyramid 2 weeks ago. Kelly tosses high, way out in front of him, a little awkward as it's passed out the back row by Kondev. Medium system set to Skylar Varga, disrupted by the triple block. First touch goes to Decker. Rowan pushes to the left side for Zach Rama, who goes down the line for the kill. Rama rises highest, and Andrew Rowan is making life difficult at the net for the Long Beach State block. One of the best blocking teams in the nation, averaging just over 2.8 blocks per set. Long Beach only with 2 blocks here early on in set 2. 6-6. Serve out of the back row by Kelly. Goes to the Beach, and the Beach had to recycle off the block. And now, as Pizzanti tries to go over on 2, he's blocked and roofed, swinging from inside the 10-foot line. And Zach Rama, after giving a high five to Micah Wong Diallo, hangs up the phone in celebration, a la Skylar Varga, who hit that exact same celebration in the Pyramid 2 weeks ago when the Beach were rolling in set 1. Bruins still remember how those first 2 sets felt. Serve across by Kelly. Medium system set from Pazanti to Gajek. Off the double block, then off the pin and down. Wojciech Gajek emerging as the offensive leader here for the Beach. 6 kills for the freshman. And it cuts out a 3-0 scoring run for UCLA and ties the score at 7. Jackson Christ, the Long Beach, California native, takes a big inhale before tossing high to serve. Booms it across. Connolly, pass out of the back row. Rowan surveys up to Wong Diallo, rejected by Ben Braun, kept alive by UCLA. Rowan then pushes out to Rama, disrupted by the block. Varga, first touch to Pazanti, D-set to Gajek, and he missed it long. Tried to swing cross court as Gajek had 2 blockers in his face, wanted to go off high hands and could not catch it inside the white lines cleanly. UCLA takes the lead at 8-7. Michael Wong Diallo back to serve. Last season made just 5 appearances, played in only 12 sets for the Bruins. Serves across, medium system set from Pazanti over to Skylar Varga, who pushes it through the double block and right onto the 10-foot line for a kill. The trademark Skylar Varga trickery showing itself here in set 2. John Hawks in a brief conversation with our officials, making sure that there was no carry from Skylar Varga. Indeed, there was not. Jake Pazanti will serve for the Beach. Huntington Beach native, stands 6'3". Second year with the Beach, the redshirt freshman tries a corkscrew serve that targets area 1, but he missed it long. Another service error for the Beach. It's their 7th error already in this match that gives UCLA a 9-8 lead. Andrew Rowan behind the service line. 13 assists already for Rowan. And an ace. He booms this one across. It touches the tape. Larson out of the back row. Up to Pazanti. Sets to the big for Alex Kondev, and he blasts a fireball well beyond the back line. It bounces right in front of the student section. And Alex Kondev has had all kinds of power in his swing tonight, but not the accuracy. His 4th attacking error of the match to go along with 2 kills. Uncharacteristic from the Bulgarian. Rowan serves hard. Pass from Larson forces Pazanti to get on his horse to Gajek over on the left side. Blocked and roofed is the freshman by David Decker and Zach Rama. UCLA turning the tide here early on in set 2. A 3-point lead now for the #1 team in the nation. It's 11-8 into a timeout called by Nick McRae. Long Beach held the lead here through the first few points, but the Bruins now on a 3-0 run have reared back into the break. We'll be back on the other side on 22 West Radio. Timeout breaks as Long Beach State find themselves down by 3, 11-10 in the second set here at Pauley Pavillion. Nick McRae has talked about the importance of passing well in serve receive this season, breaking up sets into 3 parts for this team: the race to 8, the middle third, and then the red zone. Long Beach won the race to 8 here in set 2. They have fallen behind now in the middle third. They're hoping to be the first to the red zone, the first team to 20 points. It was UCLA who was the first to 20 in set 1 as they ran out with a 25-15 set victory. And they're trying to extend their lead here in set 2. The best setter in their history behind the service line in Andrew Rowan. Fireball to the back row, passed high from Skylar Varga. Pazanti back to Varga, who touches it over with 2 hands. Connolly skies to get the dig. It's over to Rama now off the set from Rowan. Dug out in the back row by Larson. Pazanti pushes left side to Gajek. Dunks it over with 2 hands and did not get a touch off the block. Gajek in disbelief, and he wants a challenge. Nick McRae in conversation with the officials, and he will oblige. So Nick McRae utilizing the challenge here, hoping to cut out a 4-0 scoring run now for UCLA. You get 3 challenges through 4 sets. If you are successful on your challenge, you keep it. If you're unsuccessful, you lose it. If you go to set 5 with less than 3 challenges, you get 1 challenge back. Nick McRae in conversation with his men on the floor, the entire Long Beach team off the bench in a huddle. For UCLA, the 6 on the floor as the bench hangs back and John Hawks lets his players hold conversation. Milan Zarkovic now steps onto the floor for UCLA to have a conversation with Cameron Thorne. Zarkovic, a big poach for John Hawks this season, coming over from Hawaii, where he was a longtime assistant under Charlie Wade. Zarkovic, now alongside John Hawks, creates one of the most fearsome coaching duos in all of collegiate volleyball for Long Beach State. The assistants under Nick McRae this season, McKay Smith, Amir Lugo Rodriguez, and Matt Prosser. Nick McRae says you're most like the 5 men you surround yourself with, and he surrounds himself day in and day out with his assistant coaches, who are all men who bleed black and gold. Call is in, and the challenge is successful. Announcement over the loudspeakers here at Pauley Pavillion gives Wojciech Gajek his kill, and Long Beach now only trails by 2. 9 serving 11 with Skylar Varga behind the line. Varga last year an AVCA first team All-American, also first team All-Big West, and he serves it into the tape as he collects himself and heads into the huddle. An exhale, a look to the sky, and a clap of his hands as it's the same story in service for Long Beach State once again here tonight. 8 service errors here early on in set 2. 12 serving 9 now with Rama serving across. Pass out the back row by Varga. Quick to the middle for Ben Braun, disrupted by Cameron Thorne, but it falls inside the 10-foot line. Ben Braun from the middle looking to provide some stability for this Long Beach State offense. It's Ben Braun who emerges this season as the leader of that middle group in his senior season. He says that all 4 middle blockers have a group chat they call the Big Dogs, and there is no animosity between them. That middle group, one of the most supportive of each other in the nation, as Ben Braun serves across right to Cameron Thorne. It's Thorne who gets the set right back from Andrew Rowan, and it's too low into the block. That dribbles back across the tape. Ben Braun picks up the block and now heads up to the bench to make way for Kellen Larson. Larson not having his usual great night in serve receive, and that's really the time when you notice the liberos on the floor. Larson always sure-handed as Thorne serves across, this time passed out by Varga to Kondev on the left side, blocked and roofed by David Decker. Oh, wow. It's Wojciech Gajek who tried to go right through, and David Decker with a dynamite block, all alone on the left side. UCLA up 14-10. Thorne, hard serve across. Larson lets it go in the back row, and it's a service error for Cameron Thorne. Thorne still hitting 1,000 here midway through set 2, 5 kills on 5 swings. He heads to the bench to make way for Chris Connolly. Connolly just 1 dig so far on his line tonight after he had 13 against Long Beach State in the Pyramid and 12 against CSUN. Gajek serves hard and across, passed out of the back row, and it's overpassed. Kondev first touch to Pizzanti, sets to the big for Skylar Varga. It touches the tape and falls for a kill. Skylar Varga with a little extra chili pepper water on the swing. It was spicy coming across the net. A little bit of swirl as it touched the tape. Connolly could not get there. Long Beach only down by 2. 12 serving 14. Gajek, hard and across, and there's an ace for the freshman. Chris Connolly couldn't get there in time, and Wojciech Gajek picks up an ace. Looking to go back-to-back now is the opposite. Hailing from Poland. 13 serving 14. Gajek hard and across, just missed the back line by a whisker. And that cuts out a 3-0 run for Long Beach State. Much more competitive second set here as UCLA holds on to a 15-13 advantage. The Bruins took set 1 25-15. Decker tosses high, left-handed serve across. Skylar Varga dives, and Jake Pizzanti goes over on 2 with a one-handed slam. Pizzanti puts it down for his first kill. And the craftiness from the redshirt freshman pulls Long Beach back within 1. Alex Kondev back behind the line, tosses high, booms it to the back row, passed awkwardly by Connolly. Decker into the first row of the seats, bumps it up to the net. It's Kelly looking to win a joust with Jake Pizzanti, and he caught the net on his way down. The ball fell on the Long Beach side. Pizzanti gave a glance to Nick McRae, and the officials made the call That Kelly off the out-of-system attack came down and got tangled up in the tape. Condev will serve again, 15-all. Roll serve. Passed awkwardly. Rowan, one hand to keep it alive, and it goes across the net. Pizzanti, left side to Varga, off the block and down for the kill. Andrew Rowan makes a spectacular play to keep it alive for UCLA, but Skylar Varga makes the Bruins pay on the left side. Into the timeout we go. Long Beach leads 16-15 here at Pauley Pavillion, trying to bounce back in set 2. Back on the other side of the break here on 22 West Radio. Timeout breaks here at Pauley Pavillion. Long Beach lead in set 2, 16-15. Wojciech Gajek making a difference for the Beach on the offensive end. 7 kills on 12 swings, and it's his fellow international recruit, Alex Condev, looking to continue to punish UCLA behind the service line. Condev spoke after those 7 aces against Vanguard and said that serving is his favorite part of the game because it's just him and nobody else, and he wants the ball in his hands in the big moments. A roll serve across, dug out by Connolly. Rowan ranges underneath. Over to the left side, Sean Kelly swings. It's disrupted by the block. Pizzanti now D-set to Wojciech Gajek. Cross court for the kill. Goes the freshman. Make it 8 for Wojciech Gajek. And Condev can continue to serve. Condev, who came on midway through last season in the wake of injuries to Long Beach State's starting outside hitter Sotoris Chiapanis. And he has been a consistent starter this year. Tips the tape again, and it's over the head of Chris Connolly for an ace. The disruption at the net put off the UCLA libero. And just like that, Long Beach are up to their largest lead of the night, leading 18-15. Condev, cool as a cucumber behind the service line. Tosses high on a 4-0 run. Tips the tape again, dug out of the back row. Rowan underneath, quick to the middle. Michael Wong Diallo. Bounce to the ounce inside the 10-foot line. That's going to be on a highlight reel or 2 later tonight, as Wong Diallo bounces one right inside the 10-foot line and into the stands. What a highlight for Wong Diallo to break up the run for the Beach. 16 serving 18 now. Condev out of the back row, up to Pizzanti, pushes to Varga on the left side, and there's a highlight for the Beach. Skylar Varga paints the line and might have taken a little bit of paint off it as well. The swing with so much velocity comes off of Skylar Varga's right hand and down for the kill. Long Beach 19, UCLA 16. Jackson Christ, deep breath before he serves. The freshman middle blocker tosses high, serves across, passed out of the back row, medium system set from Rowan. Back to David Decker on the left side. The block disrupts it just enough, and it's down for the kill. Jackson Christ could not get there in time. And now a serving sub here for UCLA. Micah Wong Diallo with 4 kills tonight will head to the bench. Grayson Bradford, returns for the Bruins. Down by 2, UCLA looking for a run here late on. Served across, passed out by Condev. Pizzanti left side, all the way across to Skylar Varga, down with 2 hands, off the net, and the Bruins cannot keep it alive. Skylar Varga makes the most of a cross-court set from Jake Pizzanti, and the Beach are the first to the red zone in set 2. 5 points away from evening up the matchup, 1 set apiece. 9 of UCLA's 11 wins so far this season have come in a sweep. Long Beach looking to disrupt that streak tonight. Pizzanti serves across. Rowan to the middle for Cameron Thorne. He gets a touch at the net and gets the kill. Cameron Thorne still swinging 1,000 here at Pauley Pavillion. His 6th kill. Andrew Rowan back to serve. Looking to dial up another fastball here with the Bruins down by 2. 18 serving 20. Rowan a fastball, tips the tape. Larson, as he falls away, bumps it. It's Kondev out of system, bumping it to Gajek off the triple block. He goes. Connolly keeps it alive in the back row. Rowan to the back row. Here comes Sean Kelly right down Broadway for the kill. Sean Kelly kept relatively quiet here in the second set, picks up his 5th kill. And Nick McRae wants a timeout for Long Beach State. All of a sudden, we've got a ball game here in set 2. Long Beach State 20, UCLA 19. For the Beach, they've had a solid season with a few sweeps of their own. They opened up the year with sweeps against Lindenwood, McKentry, Central State, George Mason before dropping set 1 of a 4-set victory against Ohio State. They returned to the Pyramid for a 2-game homestand. They swept aside Fort Valley State, who they also faced in the NCAA National Championships last year. They also took down Long Island in 3. They then went on the road and dropped a set 2 Pepperdine, the number 6 team in the country, who were shocked just a few days ago by UC Santa Barbara, a fellow Big West opponent. Then they returned home to the Pyramid, fresh off that win against Pepperdine, and lost in 5 to UCLA. Both Long Beach State and UCLA have faced Vanguard in the interim period between games. Long Beach scheduled Vanguard for a 1-game-a-week homestand, while UCLA faced both Vanguard and CSUN. They went on the road to Costa Mesa to face Vanguard and then hosted the Matadors at home. 2 sweeps there for UCLA, and what for both teams felt like tune-up matches to get ready for this one. This game has been the national championship final for the last 2 years, and 2 years ago, these two teams met in the Final Four, one of the best rivalries in all of college sports over the last 5 years, and so much history between these two programs. Long Beach State looking to defend their national championship, and that starts with a bounce-back win tonight against the team that reverse swept them in their own building 2 weeks ago. Out of the timeout, serving is Rowan to the back row, passed by Larson. Medium system set from Pizzanti over to Skylar Varga. Tries to tool the block. Did not have success, and Varga wants a challenge from Nick McRae, saying that Sean Kelly landed on the other side of the line as Alex Kondev dove to keep the ball up. There will be no challenge coming as the officials agree with Nick McRae and will rule a violation against UCLA. So it's 21 serving 19. As Skylar Varga readies himself to serve. Booms it across to the back row. Passed by Connolly. Rowan on his horse. Back set over to Jack Rama. Disrupted by the block and kept alive. Pizzanti pushes to the left side for Alex Kondev. Touches it across. Dug out by Kelly. D-set goes to Rama. Above the double block and down for the kill. Zach Rama, a big high five for his setter as now he heads back to serve. UCLA looking to turn the tide here in set 2. 20 serving 21. Passed out by Kondev. Pizzanti. D-set to Gajek. Blocked. The Beach cannot keep it alive. And it's Cameron Thorne applying the roof. Straight down for UCLA as Nick McRae has instructions for his 6. 21 all here in set 2. Back to serve is Zach Rama. He serves into the net. Too low, and Rama's tosses tonight just simply have not looked as efficient as they usually do. For the second time tonight, he tosses it too far in front of him, and the serve goes off of his own fingertips. Long Beach take the lead at 22-21. Ryan Peluso back to serve now for the Beach. Entered as well in set 1, only got one serve before he was taken off the line. Rowan, back set off the pass, goes to the left side. Decker gets it back across, and it's Cameron Thorne trying to dump it back down. The Beach get it back on their side. Gajek around a triple block, down for the kill. A chaotic rally as both teams struggled to keep the ball alive, and it's Wojciech Gajek picking up his 9th kill. Timeout UCLA as Long Beach have opened up a 2-point lead here in the red zone, 23-21. And for Long Beach State, we've heard time and time again from Nick McRae that the most important game is the next one. Next up on the schedule is a home-and-home series against Concordia Irvine. Long Beach will travel to face the Golden Eagles on February 27th and then return home to host them on the 28th. And then that kicks off a 5-game homestand for the Beach where they will host nationally ranked Penn State as well as Jessup out of the MPSF. And then on March 20th, Hawaii comes to the Pyramid for a 2-game series on back-to-back nights to open up Big West Conference play. UCLA will also be facing Hawaii in their next slate of games. In light of the NIL tournament being canceled during this stretch of the schedule, UCLA will instead head to the Manoa Invite, where they will face nationally ranked Lewis, Mount Olive University, and Hawaii on March 14th. 3 games in 3 days coming up for the Bruins after this national championship rematch against Long Beach State. Both teams return to the floor as it's Ryan Peluso who will continue to serve for the Beach. The left-handed swinger was able to put UCLA out of system on his first serve here in set 2. Looking to do the same now and even up this game at 1 set apiece. 23 serving 21. Peluso serves across and too long, missed the back line by a foot or 2. And Peluso successfully iced by the timeout called by John Hawks. UCLA still within 1. As the change also comes in service for UCLA for the first time in the game. The sophomore setter Trent Taliaferro, the 6'5" Bruin legacy whose father played for the program back in the late 90s. Taliaferro backing up Rowan this year. Into serve in a big spot, and he blasted into the tape. Taliaferro got a few starts last year in this building while Andrew Rowan was out sick. He has come in at times this year as a service sub, and now he heads back to the bench, having given Long Beach State set point in set 2. Wojciech Gajek, 9 kills already for the freshman. As Pauley Pavillion gets loud, he serves it across and just misses the back line. A service error for Long Beach State, and a chance now for UCLA to send us into extra volleyball. Every set you must win by 2. Long Beach needs just 1 more point on this play to take set 2. If not, we're headed to extras as it's UCLA who trail 23-24. And it's Nick McRae who wants a chance to talk things over. He calls timeout, and we'll step away briefly here on 22 West Radio. The conclusion of set 2 coming up here on 22 West Radio. Both teams return to the floor as Long Beach did not call timeout after the Ryan Peluso service error. Nick McRae instead issued a challenge, hoping to get an overturn. And from my vantage point here courtside, it looked like Peluso missed the line by some distance, but the call is now in. Our officials tonight, Sid Church, Patricia Malta, Rob Ryans, and John Park. And as the call is confirmed, we are as we were heading into the break, with Long Beach up 24-23. Peluso's service error got us here, and now Long Beach will look to slam the door before UCLA claws their way back. The Bruins have David Decker behind the service line. 18 aces this season for Decker coming into this one. Roll serve across, passed by Larson, who got in the way of Skylar Varga. Pazanti cross-court set to Alex Kondev, down for the kill. Long Beach wins set 2. Off the kill from Alex Kondev, only his 3rd of the contest. Around the double block he goes, and we head to set 3 with things all square at 1 set apiece. The Bulgarian gets Long Beach State back in this ball game in a 1 versus 2 matchup. It's the number 2 seeded Long Beach State who pushed to 3 sets and will go at least 4 here at Pauley Pavillion. Back on the other side of the break for set 3 on 22 West Radio. Less than a minute to go before set 3 gets underway here at Pauley Pavillion. Long Beach State and UCLA are the top 2 teams in the country, tied at 1 set apiece. In that second set, Long Beach State hit just 296 to UCLA's 500, but get the job done through 9 ties and 3 lead changes. UCLA led from wire to wire in set number 1, coming out with a commanding 25-15 victory. Long Beach State flips the game on its head in set 2 with a 25-23 set win. And there are men on both teams tonight who have known each other for years and years and years before stepping onto the floor in this rivalry. Just this summer, 4 men who have already appeared in this match: Kellen Larson, Trent Taliaferro, Sean Kelly, and Jackson Christ, coached by John Hawks, won bronze at the U21 World Championships in Xiamen, China. At the end of August, it was Long Beach State's Kellen Larson and Jackson Christ who provided big-time performances along Sean Kelly in the final against Czechia to bring home the United States' first ever World Championships medal at the U21 level. So there is familiarity across the floor. There are all kinds of connections. It's Kellen Larson and Sean Kelly who have known each other since they were 13 years old and have traveled the world together, most notably in a trip to Guatemala back in 2022, where in both of their first international camps, it was quite the experience competing at the U19 Pan American Cup. It was Larson who won Best Receiver at that tournament, Sean Kelly who got the start in the final where they defeated Mexico, and now they meet here at Pauley Pavillion. Larson looking for a bounce-back performance as well here in set 3. The libero has looked shaky through 2 sets. Long Beach hoping that his passing out of serve receive can help them take a 2-1 advantage. As set 3 is now underway on the serve from Jake Pizzanti. Connolly pass out of the back row. Rowan over to Rama, goes cross-court for the kill. Larson might have kept it alive, and they're still playing. Rowan now to the back row for Sean Kelly. No doubt about that one. Kellen Larson kept the ball alive off a fantastic one-arm dig. But UCLA recycle in a flash and find Sean Kelly coming from beyond the 10-foot line. Cameron Thorne instructing the 4 men around him before this next serve from Micah Wong-Diallo, his fellow middle blocker tonight, getting the start for the Bruins. Wong-Diallo serves it into the tape, tried to target the line and Skylar Varga, and was unsuccessful. Long Beach struggled with service errors in set 1. It's UCLA now that has committed 8 on the contest, tied at 1 here in set 3. Skylar Varga tosses, and he hits one into the tape as well, so the 2 teams trade service errors. Skylar Varga, 1 ace in that first set, but he has shown some visible frustration as he does again here with a fist bump, or a swinging fist, that is, after he misses the serve. 2 serving 1, Rowan behind the line, booms it across. Larson, good pass out of the back row. Pizzanti in system to Kondev on the left side off the double block. Larson gets the pass up to Pizzanti again. Gayak now, right side, rolls it across, touched by Decker. Cross-court pass from Rowan goes over to Rama. Beach keep it alive. Now it's Kondev attacking from the left side. Blocked and roofs by Cameron Thorne and David Decker. UCLA has won the battle at the net tonight. Their 7th block against the 3rd best blocking team in the nation. UCLA with another roof on Alex Kondev. He'll go down as his 7th attacking arrow of the night as Rowan now serves it into the tape. Long Beach only trailed by 1 here in set 3. It'll be 2 serving 3 as Ben Braun heads back behind the service line. Braun works quickly. Medium toss, float serve, passed out by Rama. Rowan quick to Cameron Thorne, blocked and recycled. Rowan goes back to Cameron Thorne, and this time he fights it through the block of Jackson Christ. Cameron Thorne, undersized for a middle blocker, stands just 6'4". His opposite on the other end of the net tonight is Jackson Christ, who stands 6'10", but Thorne has probably the highest vertical in NCAA volleyball, showing it off there to get the kill. Pass to Pizzanti, quick to Jackson Christ in the middle, and the middle blockers trade kills as Jackson Christ brings Long Beach back. Only down by 1 again. It's 3 serving 4 as Wojciech Gayak heads back behind the line. Gayak in his freshman season at Long Beach State, getting accustomed to everything on the West Coast, from the weather to the beaches. As he serves across, Rowan, pass to the left side. Sean Kelly goes hard right off the hands of Alex Kondev for his 7th kill. Gayak has been the offensive leader alongside Skylar Varga for the Beach tonight. 9 kills already for the freshman from Poland. He has traded starting duties with Daniil Hrstanovic all season long. Got the nod tonight from Nick McRae. Pass it to Pizzanti from Alex Kondev, and it's a back set that goes to Wojciech Gajek, who fights off the double block, and now he's got double-digit kills. 10 for Wojciech Gajek, and that one looked all too easy. No celebration either from Gajek as he turned around, got some high fives, and got back to his spot on the floor. Kondev now serves at the beach, trailing by 1. Hard to the back row, passed out by Connolly. Rowan from the left side of the floor. Cross-court set goes to Kelly, blocked by Kristen, kept alive. Rowan now pushes to Decker. He's rejected by Skylar Varga. Wong Diallo gets the first touch. Rowan goes right back to Decker, blocked again by Varga. Out of system now. Rama backs it over to Kelly, tips over the block. Chance for the beach now to put it away. Pizzanti to the right side. Gajek down for the kill! What a rally from the beach! Unable to cause problems at the net so far through 3 sets. They reject the Bruins thrice, and then Wojciech Gajek lays down the hammer on the right side with nobody in his airspace. 5-all in set 3. Kondev, hard and across, missed the back line. Chris Connolly let it go. The 13th service error of the match for Long Beach State. David Decker to serve now for the Bruins, looking to break the tie. Serves it hard, passed out by Varga. Pizzanti, back to Varga, left side off the double block, and it's Rowan who gets the diving touch out of system. Rama to Kelly, left side. Did he get a touch off the block? No, he did not. And immediately, John Hawks will challenge the call. Up there on the chair was Sid Church, and it is immediately overturned, overruled by the floor judge, Patricia Malta. So referees don't do the song and dance if heading back to the review board, and John Hawks won't have to waste one of his challenges. David Decker can continue to serve. UCLA up 7-5. Decker rolls it across, passed by Larson. Pizzanti in system to Gajek, D-set, and he goes off the block, and then off the touch from Decker on a cross-court swing for his 12th kill. Wojciech Gajek on fire, and it's that battle between the opposites that really told the story of that 5-setter in Long Beach. As David Decker started cold, finished hot. Daniel Hershnovich started hot and finished cold for the beach. Jackson Chris serves for the beach. Cross-court serve, dug out by Decker. Rolling quick to the middle. Michael Wong Diallo gets above the beach double block. And a grimace from Ben Braun as he knew he was just a fraction of a second too late, trying to deny the junior. Sean Kelly will serve now for UCLA. Composes himself, tosses high, right-handed serve across, passed by Kondev in the back row. In system, Pizzanti left side to Varga. Tried to go over with 2 hands, and he didn't touch the ball in time. It goes off the antenna, and it'll be an attacking error for Skylar Varga. The high set from Pizzanti, unable to be corralled by the Canadian. And UCLA has opened up a 3-point lead at 9-6. Sean Kelly can serve again. Booms it across, and it's beyond the back line. Another service error for UCLA. Cuts out a run. Seven serving 9 as Pizzanti is back behind the line. Tosses, booms it across, dug by Connolly. Rowan, right at the logo, gets to Wong Diallo, rejected by Ben Braun, kept alive now. Rowan will push further to Zach Rama, who's blocked and roofed. Big Ben Braun locking down the pins. And Long Beach State are back within 1. Ben Braun picking up his 2nd block. He's responsible for 2 of the 3 for the beach tonight. Pizzanti, this serve goes into the net, and UCLA are back up by 2. It's 10-8 here at Pauley Pavillion. 1 set apiece between these 2 teams, who hope to meet for a 3rd time this season in April with a national championship on the line in this building. Michael Wong Diallo, low toss, floats it across. Larson passes, Pizzanti medium system set. Gajek left side, blocked and roofed by Cameron Thorne, who falls back onto the beach side, and Gajek helps him up. Another block for UCLA, their 8th of the night against Wojciech Gajek, who's already having a career night with 12 kills now on 21 swings. He's hitting 286, but that time could not get it through the arms of Cameron Thorne. Wong Diallo serves again. Bruins up by 3. 11 serving 8. Float to the back row. Kondev overhand pass to Jake Pizzanti. Ben Braun rises highest. and gets the kill. Ben Braun well above the tape, not just head and shoulders. His entire number might have been beyond the partition as he rises for his 4th kill. 11 serving 9, Varga. Straight to Rama, passed up to Andrew Rowan. Quick to the middle for Cameron Thorne. And Thorne looks over to Braun and says, whatever you can do, I can do better. That time right above the tape, and a laser to the back row applied by the Grand Canyon transfer. Andrew Rowan to serve with UCLA up by 3. 12 serving 9, Rowan blasts a fireball that bounces once and then into the student section. Another service error for UCLA, their 11th. Kellen Larson subs out, makes way for Jackson Christ in the front row. Ben Braun serves, floats it to the back row. Chris Connolly let it go, and it's a service error for the Beach. Zach Rama to serve for UCLA. To the back row, Condiff passes up to Pizzanti, sets to the big for Skylar Varga. Running off Pizzanti's left shoulder. It's Skylar Varga who picks up the kill. He's in double digits now with his 10th. And there is a real back and forth energy about this 3rd set as these two teams have traded blows halfway through. 11 serving 13. Gayak hard to the back row, popped up by Connolly. Rowan ranges underneath, sets right to David Decker next to him. Bumped out of the back row by Gayak. Pizzanti, D-set, Gayak again cross court and out of bounds. Gayak couldn't catch the line. Caught the ball on the downswing, just a fraction of a second off balance. Gayak already with a career high in this game with 12 kills. Cannot get that ball inside the lines, and it's UCLA who can serve 14-11. Cameron Thorne booms it into the net with his trademark C-cupped hand serve. As he subs out, it has not been the greatest night in service for Cameron Thorne. Makes way again for Chris Connolly in the back row. Connolly just 2 digs, same number as Kellen Larson. The liberos haven't had too much to do on extended rallies tonight as Alex Condiv serves it into the net. And now it becomes a battle of who can get the ball above that tape as we hit the halfway point here in set 3. UCLA the first to 15. It's 15-12 Bruins live here at Pauley Pavillion on 22 West Radio. Pauley Pavillion gets loud as the teams retake the floor here. It's UCLA who leads 15-12 in set 3. Long Beach State as a team to this point in the match hitting 237. UCLA still hitting 480 despite dropping set 2. They hit 500. They hit 625 on set 1. Andrew Rowan has already dished out 24 assists. Jake Pizzanti has set up his teammates 30 times. Leading the way for UCLA is Cameron Thorne and Sean Kelly with 8 kills each, as Long Beach State looks to go up 2-1 here on UCLA after dropping set 1 25-15. Out of the break, it's David Decker who continues the run of service errors, booming one straight into the net. In set 2, it was Long Beach who won 25-23. And it's close here again in set 3. 13 serving 15 as Jackson Christ settles himself. Tosses high, booms it into the net. Another service error. And this crowd being lulled into a familiar rhythm as it's been a few points now without a rally. Kellen Larson gives high fives to every man on the floor before Sean Kelly gets ready to serve. Kelly gets this one across, passed out by Varga. Pizzanti back to Varga, left side, rejected by the block and kept alive by Condev. Pizzanti pushes back to Varga, one blocker in the airspace, and Skylar Varga gets right over the outstretched hands of David Decker. Skylar Varga makes it look too easy, and a nice disguise in the front row by Jake Pizzanti, who will now serve for the Beach. Pizzanti serves across, passed by Connolly, up to Rowan, joust at the net, won by Skylar Varga, another joust at the net, won by Varga again. Back to back goes the Canadian, and a little swagger shoulder shrug as he heads away from the net. Got the best of Andrew Rowan twice on 2 overpasses from the Bruins back row. And Skylar Varga now has 12 kills. Jake Pizzanti tosses, serves across, passed out of the back row, up to Andrew Rowan, set to the back row for Sean Kelly. Larson digs it right back across. Passed out by Decker. Rowan, cross court, set to Zach Rama. Missed the block and the back line. Was aiming for high hands. And an attacking error for Zach Rama ties us at 16 in set 3. Pizzanti continues to serve. Booms it across, dug out by Connolly. Rowan, medium system set out to Rama again, and he missed again. No touch off of the block. No love from the line. And Long Beach have taken the lead on a 3-0 run. Timeout, John Hawks. 2 rare errors from one of the best attackers in the nation in Zach Rama. Coming into this game, Zach Rama averages 4 kills per set, best for second in the nation, hitting .419 as well, the 10th best hitting clip in Division I volleyball tonight. Rama hitting just .125 now with 6 kills on 16 swings. On the other side of the break, in less than 60 seconds, the conclusion of set 3 right here on 22 West Radio. Both teams return to the floor for the conclusion of set 3. Long Beach looking to win that middle third of the set behind the service line, as we've seen a bevy of service errors from both teams here in set 3 that has slowed down the Bruins' momentum, something they rode out to a huge victory in set 1, and something they were able to ride in set 2 to keep it close as Long Beach won out 25-23. Pizzanti served this one into the tape to continue the trend for both teams that has seen this third set really grind to a halt. Michael Wong Diallo, the middle blocker, will look to hopefully float this one across and get a rally going for both teams as we're tied at 17. This crowd looking for something to latch on to tonight at Pauley Pavillion. This one goes across, Pizzanti underneath, quick to the middle. Ben Braun detonates. From the logo at center court, Ben Braun rises highest and bounces it off the hardwood. The surface tonight at UCLA is the basketball court, not the usual Terraflex that Long Beach are used to playing on in the pyramid. But there's still plenty of bounce in the step of Ben Braun. 5 kills now for the middle blocker. Skylar Varga to serve. Off balance, floats it across. Rowan, cross court, set goes to Rama, above the double block, kept alive by Condev. Pizzanti sets to the back row. Skylar Varga gets rejected by the block, kept alive by Condev. Pizzanti goes back to Condev, left side, tipped over the block, into the campfire. Connolly gets the pancake dig. Rama attacks from the left side, blocked and roofed and out of bounds. Zach Rama gets the kill. UCLA retakes the lead at 19-18. Andrew Rowan behind the service line. 24 assists and an ace on his line tonight. Hard to the back row, passed out by Larson. D-set goes to Gajek, who pushes it down, kept alive by Connolly. Across the net, though, and there's Alex Condev to poke it down with surgical precision. We are tied. Oh, excuse me, Long Beach has now taken the lead at 19-18. Off the touch kill from Alex Condev, Ryan Peluso subs back in as he has in all 3 sets. Looking to go on a run And close out this set, Cameron Thorne with a bit of gamesmanship now. Grabs the towel from the line judge's chair and wipes up a wet spot from Chris Connolly's pancake diving dig. Also looking to ice Ryan Peluso behind the service line. Peluso has gone on some memorable runs this season. Last year, as a sophomore at Long Beach State, appeared in 18 matches, had 6 aces, and, redshirted last year, 6 matches in 2024 for Ryan Peluso. In high school was a USA Today Boys Volleyball National Player of the Year and a 3-time national team selection. Serves this one across, quick to the middle, goes Andrew Rowan for Cameron Thorne, and some of those plays just don't look humanly possible. As soon as that ball gets above the tape, Cameron Thorne is there to lay down the kill. He now has 9 on 11 swings, as now we're tied at 19. Rama spins one across. Larson dives to keep it up. Pazanti to Kondev off the net, off the block. He goes, and Cameron Thorne would want that one back. Alex Kondev was set 3 feet off the net. Cameron Thorne was in the perfect position for the block and only could touch it off his fingertips back inside the 10-foot line. Kondev picks up the kill. Long Beach are the first to the red zone. 2019 in set 3. Gajek hard into the tape with his serve. The 19th service error of the night for Long Beach State sees us tied at 20, and a service sub comes once again for UCLA. It's Grayson Bradford, the 6'10" freshman outside. Still looking for his first ace as a Bruin in his freshman season. Has appeared in only 9 sets. Serves this one into the tape, and he'll have to wait a little bit longer for his first ace in a UCLA uniform. Long Beach retakes the lead at 21-20. Alex Kondev back behind the line in a position he wants to be in. With the set on his shoulders, he tosses high, booms it, looking for a cross-court ace, and he doesn't get it. Beyond the line, Kondev misses by a few inches, and Nick McRae will call timeout. We are tied at 21 off the service error from Alex Kondev. We mentioned those service errors piling up for Long Beach State. Last time these two teams met, it was service errors that continually took Long Beach State out of those sets in 3 and 4. 28 service errors for the Beach, 25 for UCLA. We've seen those service errors rear their head again here in set 3. Long Beach State looking to go up 2-1 on UCLA. They have an advantage now that has been siphoned off slowly by UCLA and now closed. 21 all into the break, back in 30 seconds for the conclusion on 22 West Radio. Timeout breaks, 21 all in set 3. The student section here at Pauley Pavillion on their feet as David Decker is ready to serve for the Bruins. Decker gives a smile as the crowd engages in a UCLA chant. And we are ready to go here. Down to the wire we go in set 3. 21 all. David Decker, the redshirt junior opposite. North Carolina native. Left-handed serve across, passed by Larson up to Pazanti. Skylar Varga, two-handed touch across on the left side, and it's down for the kill. Skylar Varga had to use every inch of his 6'7" frame to get that set off his fingertips and into the campfire. Setting the table now for Jackson Christ to serve. 22-21, Long Beach State lead. Christ tosses, serves, and misses the back line. Was going right at Chris Connolly in area 6 in the center back of the Bruins back row and missed the line. Scrunched up his nose as he gave high fives to his teammates. It's 22 all in set 3. Sean Kelly Roll serve across, pass by Kondev, up to Pazzanti, left side, Varga goes down and he got the kill. Cross court goes the Canadian on a power angle for his 13th kill of the night. Long Beach lead again, 23-22, 2 points away from going up 2-1 on the #1 team in the nation. Jake Pazzanti, the setter, tosses across, passed out of the back row by Kelly. Rowan to left side for Rama, dug out by Kondev, by Pazzanti. Second touch, Larson. Skylar Varga around a triple block, dug out in the back row by Kelly. Rowan, cross court set to Rama, goes around the double block, and Kellen Larson let it go on the cross court swing, and it dips inside the line. Zach Rama comes up when the Bruins need him most to tie this set at 23. Service sub for the Bruins as well. In comes Spencer Graves, the junior middle blocker. And Nick McRae, before the serve can go across, will call timeout, doing his best to ice Spencer Graves, who also appeared in that third set in UCLA's last home game against Vanguard. Graves, native of Pacific Palisades, California, graduate of Loyola High School. And high school was an AVCA first-team All-American. He won the national championship with Loyola as an efficient middle blocker. In his sophomore season last year, he did not appear for the second straight season until he was put in as a serving sub for 10 matches later in the year. Had 3 aces last season. This year, he has now appeared in 12 sets, no kills, no assists, but looking to put UCLA up 2-1 now. Both of Graves' parents attended UCLA. Neither one of them played volleyball, though, as there are a few legacy Bruins that he now shares the floor with who are second-generation talents for this UCLA program that is the winningest in all of men's volleyball. 21 national championships for UCLA across the tenure of 2 legendary head coaches in Al Skates and John Spraw. John Hawks trying to add his name to that legendary list with an appearance in the national championship to be hosted at the Bruins home arena in April. Spencer Graves out of the timeout, ready to serve. Beach put 4 in the back row from right to left: Pazzanti, Varga, Larson, Kondev, and Gajek. Graves float serve across to Varga. Pazzanti right back to Varga on a D set off the double block, and Graves cannot recover in the back row. He was hanging out behind the service line watching his serve, and Skylar Varga gets the touch off the double block and out of bounds. And that'll set up set point in set 3 for Long Beach State. And exactly the man you want behind the line in a situation like this, the Canadian Skylar Varga, the nationwide leader in aces. And knowing that, John Hawks will take timeout. Waited for a second or two, and Matt Prosser not too happy with the time that came off the clock before John Hawks decided he wanted a timeout. Skylar Varga, though, is the leader of this Long Beach State team. He's the floor captain under Nick McRae. As a sophomore, he was an AVCA honorable mention All-American, but in 2023 was forced to use injury redshirt after a leg injury required him to have multiple surgeries and miss an entire year of volleyball. But really looking at Skylar Varga now, you would never know that he went through so much to be back on the floor. Last year as an All-American, he led Long Beach State with 270 kills, was Long Beach State's Big West Male Scholar Athlete of the Year. And then over the summer, he played for Canada at the Volleyball Nations League. He was the 14th best attacker. Sorry, Canada finished 14th. He was top 55 in scoring and attacking. And he says it was nice after that experience with the national team to come back to slower volleyball here at the collegiate level. Sometimes this season it looks like Skylar Varga has been playing in slow motion and behind the service line been playing with his food. The nationwide leader in aces had 12 kills against UCLA 2 weeks ago. Tonight he has 15 and 1 ace. In the Beach's last game against Vanguard, it was the first time all season where he failed to register an ace. And now he's looking to put the dagger down here into the heart of the Bruins in set 3. The traveling Long Beach contingent behind the bench rises to their feet as the student section at Pauley Pavillion follows suit. Set point in set 3. Skylar Varga serves across, passed out of the back row by Sean Kelly. Rowan ranges underneath, over to Rama left side, through the double block and down. Another clutch swing from Zach Rama. And we're gonna go to extra volleyball now at 24 all. You must win by 2, and Andrew Rowan is behind the line now for UCLA. The setter who improved his serving in the offseason has applied some big-time serves, both home and away for the Bruins this year. Rowan serves a fireball to the back row, passed out by Larson. Pizzanti, D-set to Gajek, tried to tool it off the block. Instead, he pushed it into the antenna. And Gajek is in conversation with Nick McRae, asking for a challenge, as for the moment, Pauley Pavillion rises to their feet. Nick McRae looks back to his coaching staff, and McKay Smith says, don't challenge the call. Now Amir Lugo Rodriguez comes off the bench to confirm that decision, and it's set point UCLA. No challenge for the Beach off the touch from Gajek. Rowan to serve again. 25-24. Rowan across the tape, it tips it. Kondev to Pizzanti, to the middle for Ben Braun, off the middle blocker's fingertips and down for the kill. 25 all in set 3. Ben Braun picks up his 6th kill and had to reach over 9 feet into the sky to touch that one down. Now he serves. Braun across. Passed out by Rama to Rowan to Cameron Thorne. Pauley Pavillion rises once again for set point number 2 off the kill from Cameron Thorne, who has been outstanding in this match. 10 kills now for Cameron Thorne, tying his season high on only 12 swings. Rama serves for the set, roll serve across, passed out by Varga. Pizzanti, D-set, Gajek blocked and down! UCLA steals set 3 off the block from Sean Kelly. Skylar Varga couldn't keep it alive, and UCLA goes into set 4 on the doorstep of taking the regular season series against Long Beach State. 2-1 in favor of the Bruins off the block from Zach Rama, and an extended huddle on the hardwood for Long Beach State before they switch sides. Zach Rama finishes the set that goes to extra points with a block. 27-25 the final score in set 3. Back on the other side of the break for set 4 here on 22 West Radio. We are ready for set 4 here at Pauley Pavillion. UCLA up 2-1 on Long Beach State in a rematch of the last 2 national championship finals. In set 1, UCLA won 25-15. In set 2, it was Long Beach who came back and won 25-23. And then in set 3, off of a block from Zach Rama, UCLA ran out 27-25 victors. Long Beach unable to put away one set point. UCLA capitalized on their second. And we head now to set 4, with Long Beach needing to win and force a 5th set to preserve their 12-1 record. Their only loss this year at the hands of UCLA. UCLA is 11-0 for the first time since 1998, trying to push that to 12-0 with more winnable games on the schedule ahead. Here in set 4, Andrew Rowan gets us underway with a serve hard and across. Larson passes up to Pizzanti, medium system. Gayak rolls it across, dug out by Rama. Set goes over to David Decker on the right side, and he goes off the double block and down for the kill. UCLA gets on the board first here in set 4. John Hawks, during the intermission between sets, was not happy with some of the stats he was seeing coming out of UCLA. Unable to side out Long Beach efficiently with all those service errors in set 3. He said it simply was not good enough. Looking for more efficient serving here in set 4, and Andrew Rowan on his first opportunity to extend the lead. Booms it 5 feet beyond the back line. 14 service errors now for the Bruins. Skylar Varga with set 4 tied at 1 apiece. Booms one into the tape. Varga with 15 kills on 25 swings, but serving has been his Achilles heel. And coming into this game, that would have been a crazy thing to say about the best server in the nation. Roll serve attempted this time by Zach Rama, who has had trouble with his tosses tonight, and that one danced on the tape for a second, then fell back on the Bruins side. So 2 straight service errors for UCLA give Long Beach their first 2 points here in set 4. 2-all, Ben Braun back to serve. 6 kills on 7 swings as he gets this one across. Rowan back to Cameron Thorne in the middle, dug out by Pizzanti, out of system. Gayak pushes to the back row for Skylar Varga, who tries to go and paint the near side but misses the line. Had his eyes on the right side of the floor all the way through the follow-through of his own swing, but missed it by a foot. Now Cameron Thorne will adjust his serving position. He wants to serve from the left side of the floor instead of the right. 3 serving 2. Thorne passed from Varga. Quick to the middle for Jackson Christen. Christen catch that one cleanly, but it still falls inside the white lines right in front of the back line. Jackson Christ picks up the kill, his second of the night. UCLA winning the battle at the net tonight. 9 blocks to Long Beach State's 3. 3-all in set 4. Gayak serves hard and across, passed out the back row by Rama. Rowan, one arm set, goes over to David Decker off the block and out of bounds. What a set from Andrew Rowan. Rising highest above the net in the face of Alex Kondev to flick a set with his left hand over to David Decker, who goes down the line for the kill. 4 serving 3. Decker taking up service responsibilities. Hard to the back row, passed out by Varga. Cross-court set goes to Kondev. Looked for high hands and did not catch it. Also missed the back line. So another attacking error for Alex Kondev, his 7th of the night. And Long Beach asking about a challenge here. Nick McRae asked the floor judge, Patricia Malta, how many challenges he had left, and then decides to challenge for a block touch. Nick McRae looking to lead Long Beach State back to the pinnacle of college volleyball this season. He has all the tools to do it, with guys like Jackson Christ stepping up in their freshman year, and guys like Skylar Varga and Ben Braun, the senior leaders of this team. It's also been Jake Pizzanti leading the offense for Long Beach State tonight. Long Beach hitting a 250 clip here in the early goings of set 4. Pizzanti has dished out 38 assists last time these two teams met. It was Pizzanti who had 34, already eclipsing that total through 4 sets. For UCLA, Andrew Rowan is on the other side. A favorite for AVCA National Player of the Year with the performances he has put in. He will go down as probably the greatest setter in UCLA Bruins history, not just by pure numbers, but by the winning volleyball he has contributed to. The 3-time AVCA All-American and MPSF first-team selection as a 2-time NCAA champion, helping the Bruins go back-to-back in 23 and 24. And now in 2026, he would love to cap it off with a 3rd national title. The Trabuco Canyon, California native and New Bracero Catholic high school graduate, is also largely considered as the heir to Michael Christensen's throne as the setter for the U.S. men's national team. Expect to see him right here at LA in the 2028 Olympics. He has already been called up to the U.S. men's national senior team and has gotten experience working under Micah Christensen. He was rostered on the VNL for weeks 1 and 3 this year. Also competed with the national team at the NORCECA Pan Am Championships. Andrew Rowan has seen his stock only rise during his time at UCLA, deciding to stay on with John Hawks assuming head coaching duties 2 years ago. And Rowan always looks like he's playing without a care in the world. One of the most relaxed setters you'll ever watch on the volleyball court. His opposite, Jake Pizzanti, stepped into big shoes this season. Moni Nikolov, those shoes are, well, about as big as you can find them. Nikolov last year came over from Sofia, Bulgaria in his freshman season, lit up the volleyball world, a viral sensation everywhere he went, and also broke the single season record for service aces. It's Pizzanti who has had to step into those shoes, and it has been Nick McRae time and time again saying that by the end of the season we should talk a lot more about Jake Pizzanti and a lot less about Moni Nikolov, but Pizzanti looking to lead the Beach here tonight to a memorable win, something the Beach were able to do twice last season in the regular season and once in that national championship game. 2 wins over UCLA. Unsuccessful challenge for the Beach, served across, passed out of the back row by Larson. Medium system set to Gayak is blocked in roof by Sean Kelly. David Decker got the Beach off the net from the service line. Another awkward pass from Kellen Larson out of the back row put the Beach in a medium system attacking situation, and Gayak off the net had to fire it as hard as he could into the block. That was right there locking down the pin and line. UCLA up to a 3-point lead in this decisive 4th set. It's 6-3 as Decker booms it across and well out of bounds. Wojciech Gayak raises his arms in the back row and the ball still sails over his head. So some cheekiness from the pole as it's now 4-6. Last season, Long Beach State won 9 of the 10 sets across 3 matches against UCLA last season. Looking to pull off a big one here as off the serve it's kept up by Long Beach State briefly. Off the swing from Michael Wong Diallo coming from the middle, but to no avail. Wong Diallo picks up his 6th kill. UCLA goes up 6-5, and now the call has been reversed. I'm going to say Andrew Rowan ranged underneath the partition, making that swing invalid from Wong Diallo. Now it's 5-6. Kondev over to area 1. Connolly dives to keep it alive. Set goes over to Kelly. Gayak keeps it alive for the Beach, and Jake Pizzanti bumps it awkwardly. Was fighting for Jackson Christ for position in the back row, and Pizzanti bumped it to the wrong side of the floor, over to the first row of the stands behind the court, not to the net. And that is an uncharacteristic error and a miscommunication between setter and middle blocker for the Beach that gives UCLA a 2-point advantage. 7-5 in set 4. Sean Kelly tosses high, booms it across, passed out by Larson. Pizzanti underneath, pushes to Varga, left side, off the block. The Beach keep it alive. Gayak forced to bump it to Skylar Varga again with an overhand pass, and Skylar Varga could only aim for a high hands. He was falling away and 2 feet off the net. And UCLA pick up another point off another error from the Beach. 8-5 now, advantage Bruins in set 4. Sean Kelly tosses high, booms it across. Larson lets it go, and it's a service error for Sean Kelly. Jackson Christ readies himself to serve. Second generation Long Beach State player. His father, Jeff Christ, played for Long Beach State back in the late 90s, and Jackson has been around this program his entire life. He serves it across here. Trademark screwball serve, dug out, now to system. The pump from Decker goes over to Rama on the left side around the triple block, kept alive by Gayak. Chris keeps it alive in the back row, and Kondev just has to set it over the net. Pass up to Rowan, goes quick to the middle for Wong Diallo. Nobody in the vicinity, and Michael Wong Diallo with an electrifying kill as he now heads back to serve, making way for Cameron Thorne to also return in the front row. Off goes Chris Connolly. Jackson Christ also stepping off the floor for the Beach to make way for Kellen Larson in serve receive. 9-6. Wong Diallo floats it across. Kondev pass from the back row up to Pizzanti. Goes quick to the middle for Ben Braun. One touch from Sean Kelly in the back row isn't enough, and Ben Braun picks up his 7th kill. Long Beach trailed by 2. Trying to keep momentum on their side of the floor for the first time in set 4 off the kill from Ben Braun. Jake Pizzanti to serve. 39 assists. Gets it across, passed out of the back row, quick to the middle for Cameron Thorne, touches it across, pancaked by Larson, and the Beach can't get 3 touches. Skylar Varga calling for a challenge, saying that he got underneath the second touch. The play was blown dead before Kandev could get under the third, so if the challenge, should Nick McRae apply it, be successful, the point would be replayed. Varga saying that he caught it with his right index finger. And it's McRae, McKay, and Matt Prosser all off the bench, looking to decide on whether or not to challenge. In conversation with the line judge is Nick McRae. Has one finger pointed up at Sid Church. And he's saying that why did the whistle blow before the ball hit the floor for the final time? Church offering his explanation, and now Zach Rommel will go over to have a conversation with the line judge as well. So a lot to figure out here. As it stands now, it's point UCLA. They go up by 3, 10-7. Long Beach arguing that Kellen Larson got underneath the ball with a pancake dig, and so did Skylar Varga. Either way, though, this conversation has extended long enough to almost be counted as a timeout, as Nick McRae is making no friends in Pauley Pavillion with the conversations he's continuing to have with the floor judge. Skylar Varga now in conversation as well. Fans here at Pauley Pavillion asking for somebody to take a timeout, as none has been called. And boos ring out as Nick McRae still tries to figure out whether or not to challenge. As it stands here in set 3, UCLA is up 10-7 on Long Beach State, needing just 15 more points to run out with a 4-set victory. Of the 8 sets played this season between the two teams, UCLA has won 5. In a matchup they have historically dominated. Only Pepperdine in the history of UCLA men's volleyball has handed them more losses than Long Beach State. And Nick McRae will not challenge the call, but takes enough time on the clock to possibly ice Andrew Rowan behind the service line. The halfway full Pauley Pavillion faithful give Nick McRae a few whistles as he heads back to his bench, and now we're ready to get back underway. Score still 10-7, advantage UCLA in set 4. Rowan serves across, dug out by Kandev. Pizzanti up to the net, gets over to Skylar Varga, rolls it across, dug out on a dive by Connolly. Back set from Rowan to the back row for Sean Kelly. Que maravilla. That is beautiful volleyball. Rowan with 3 attackers inside the 10-foot line, turns his attention to the Bic, and there's Sean Kelly to throw down the kill. 11 serving 7 now, as Rowan looks to extend his run behind the line. Rowan hard and across, back at Kandev, popped up. Pizzanti medium system to Gayak, rolls it across the double block, off balance, kept alive. Out of system set now from Kelly, goes over to Rama left side, off the triple block, kept alive once but not twice, as the Beach triple block gets the point and cuts out Andrew Rowan's run behind the line. Still down by 3 though. The Beach are going to need some points here, as they've lost the race to 8 once again here at Pauley Pavillion. Skylar Varga behind the line, 8 serving 11. Tries to target the line and does not find success. Another service error for Skylar Varga. They're starting to pile up now for the Beach. 23 on the night to UCLA's 18. Rama serves across, Gayak first into a pass. Pizzanti cross court set goes to Kandev. He's blocked, and it's out of bounds. UCLA was looking for a friendly whistle, saying it might have gotten back off Kandev, and instead it goes for the kill. That's the Bulgarians' 6th. Long Beach State trail 9-12. Braun across, passed out the back row by Rama, up to Rowan to the back row. He sets for Rama again, overpass back across the net, taken up by Thorne. To Rama, back to Cameron Thorne. And Cameron Thorne is renting out a bounce house here in the Pauley Pavillion. Crowd on their feet after a big-time kill from Cameron Thorne. He has 12, a season's best from Cameron Thorne, all while hitting 800. He serves now. Larson out of the back row, pass up to Pizzanti. There goes Jackson Christ. He gets the friendly flag, and that'll go down as a kill for Jackson Christ. Not quite the velocity displayed by Cameron Thorne on the last play, but enough to silence this crowd for now. Jackson Christ runs a nice route around Jake Pizzanti, gets the kill down, and puts the ball in the hands of Wojciech Gayak, who serves now. Overpass across the net. Alex Kandev punishes with a one-time swing. Back down inside the 10-foot line, and 2 momentum-shifting plays here in set 4 for the Beach. 11 serving 13. Wojciech Gajek serves hard and across and out of bounds. Has not been active here in this third set as much as he was in the first 2. Still sitting on 12 kills. That's a career best in a Long Beach State uniform for Gajek, but he has not been able to apply too much pressure behind the line. Just 1 ace for him tonight. Decker serves now for UCLA, hard and across and out of bounds. Watch your heads in the front row of the VIP seats. Decker nearly takes out a fan's popcorn, and he asks for a quick wet spot to be wiped up on his side of the floor. As it's now Long Beach 12, UCLA 14. Kondev serves for the Beach, hard and across, pass out of the back row, up to Andrew. Rowan goes to Cameron Thorne, again disrupted by the block. Pizzanti, first touch, back to the back row for Alex Kondev, who comes and lays the boom. Lock, load, and fire for Alex Kondev on the second touch kill from beyond the 10-foot line. Long Beach State knocking on the door here now in set 4, 13-14. Advantage Bruins. Kondev continues his run. Booms it now into the tape. Service error for Alex Kondev sends us into the media timeout. UCLA up 15-13 halfway through set 4. Long Beach needs to win this set and push it 2-5 as UCLA leads 2-1 in a rematch of the last year's national championship. You are listening to 88.1 KKJZ HD3 Long Beach, streaming online at 22wesradio.com and on YouTube. This is defending national champion Long Beach State men's volleyball on 22 Radio. Back in 60 seconds for set 4 action. Out of the timeout, UCLA will take up service responsibility. Sean Kelly behind the line for the Bruins as they lead 15-13 in set 4. Kelly tosses high, booms it across. Kind of awkward pass to Pizzanti. He goes cross court to Skylar Varga on the left side, and Varga tools the block with a softer swing than the Bruins have been accustomed to. Skylar Varga has his game face on tonight. In the warm-ups, his usual routine of doing a little bit of football route running with Wojciech Gajek returned after, in the last matchup between these two teams, he did push-ups before the national anthem, reminiscent of his iconic performance in the national championship, trying to get back on rhythm and on pace here in set 4 and provide the spark. As here goes Jackson Christ from behind the service line. Bumped out of the back row, up to Andrew Rowan to the back row for Sean Kelly, and Kelly now has 10. Off the double block and down. Andrew Rowan, when feeding Sean Kelly here in set 4, has been incredibly efficient. It is open season for the BIC as Sean Kelly now looks to put UCLA back in front. 16 serving 14. Michael Wong Diallo, float serve across, passed out overhand by Varga. Pizzanti over onto a setter's slam for Jake Pizzanti. And he wheels away to take up service responsibilities for Pizzanti. That's his second kill of the night, and the first time he's pulled off that move. Pizzanti stands just 6'3", but elevates above the tape and throws down with 2 hands for the kill. 15 serving 16. Pizzanti hard and across, passed out of the back row, up to Rowan. Sets again to Sean Kelly coming from the back row, and the Beach still cannot find a solution for the Sean Kelly swing. That time he goes right at the setter, Jake Pizzanti, who is isolated on the right side of the Beach's back row. And UCLA get the serve back, inching closer to a victory here on their home floor. Student section has not sat down all night long. here in Pauley Pavillion. Serve hard and across, passed out of the back row by Larson. Pazzanti over to Gajek, left side, and straight down. Explosive from Wojciech Gajek, and he's been waiting to get on the board throughout this fourth set. There it is. And he gives a big hug to Ben Braun, who ran a nice disguise off of Pazzanti's inside right shoulder that set up Gajek all alone. Power angle goes the pole. 16 serving 17. Varga hard and across, passed up to Andrew Rowan. Quick to Cameron Thorne. Magnifique. Cameron Thorne. Another magnificent swing from inside the 10-foot line. And Cameron Thorne has to be seeing stars with how high he's above the net. 18-16. Rama, awkward serve across, passed out of the back row by Varga. Quick to Ben Braun in the middle, and he just catches the back line for the kill. That has been the strategy for Long Beach State. When Cameron Thorne gets on the board, Pazzanti goes right back to the middle. And looking for some consistency on a night where Long Beach has 25 service errors. Back into the fray comes Connor Bloom. As a service sub, to the bench goes Ben Braun. The Bloom boom from the Long Beach faithful. As Bloom tosses high, serves across to the back row, awkward pass up from Rama. Connolly forced a bump set from the back row over to Sean Kelly, who goes power angle. And still, Sean Kelly prevails in the face of a triple block. 12 kills for Sean Kelly. And he has been efficient as well, hitting 600 on the night. Back to the bench goes Connor Bloom. Back in for serve receive comes Kellen Larson. As once again, Grayson Bradford steps onto the floor for UCLA as a service sub. 19-17. Bradford serves hard into the tape. Bradford still looking for that first career ace. Will not find it here as he subs back out. Chris Connolly, the Long Beach transfer, returns to the floor. Connolly only 5 digs tonight. Long Beach has not been able to extend rallies against the Bruins. He had 13 the last time these two teams met, and he was a big part of that reverse sweep. Gajek now serves out of bounds. Crucial misserve from Wojciech Gajek, whose only real contributions in that match against UCLA came when he was off the bench in set 3 and set 5. Had a service error as well that allowed UCLA to come back in set 3. This time, it's a service error from Gajek that gets UCLA to the red zone first. 20 serving 18. Decker across. Pazzanti sets the big for Skylar Varga. Nobody at the net to meet the Canadian. And Varga detonates for his 16th kill. And when Skylar Varga comes from the back row, he is living life in the fast lane. So quick off the set from Jake Pazzanti. 19 serving 20. Here goes Alex Kondev across. Dug out by Connolly. Andrew Rowan underneath over to Sean Kelly, and he goes cross-court power angle again. Sean Kelly taking over set 4, bouncing off a trampoline on the left side. And time again, when faced with a double block, Sean Kelly asks, "Can I have this dance?" And then proceeds to tango his way into a kill. 21-19. Bruins 4 points away from a 4-set victory. This time, Kelly serves it straight into the net. And now Long Beach will look to capitalize. Making a few changes here. Ryan Peluso comes on to serve. And for the first time tonight, Daniil Hrstanovic comes onto the floor for Jake Pazzanti. So Ryan Peluso comes in to serve. He will also be the setter for Long Beach State for the first time this season. As Peluso serves hard and across, dug out by Connolly. Rowan underneath to the back row, and he awkwardly touches it over. Not quite sure what happened there as Andrew Rowan went up to set, and the ball flew onto the Long Beach side. Might have been Rowan with a double touch, and an error ties us at 21. Awkward play there from UCLA. Ryan Peluso will continue to serve. Native of Orlando, Florida, booms it across, passed out of the back row by Sean Kelly. Medium system set from Rowan to the left side. Off the block goes Zach Rama, dug out. Peluso has to dive to keep it alive. Varga out of the back row, swings and dunking it down. Is Varga back across by Peluso? What a rally. Rowan, left side to Rama, goes down with a cross-court swing for the kill. Ryan Peluso keeps the rally alive in spectacular fashion. But Zach Rama is able to get the kill for the Bruins. Peluso will head off, as will Daniil Hrstanovic. Back onto the floor for the Beach is Jake Pazzanti. and Wojciech Gajek. So the opposites trade places. Danil Hrstanovic, who has started the lion's share of games this season for Long Beach State, will head back to the bench. It is Hrstanovic and Wojciech Gajek, who Nick McRae has called the two-headed dragon, and a dragon that may well be one of the world's best opposite pairings. Gajek has gotten plenty of run tonight, 13 kills to show for it. And with UCLA ahead 22-21, John Hawks calls timeout. Looks like he's also going to bring in Luka Kirchi to serve for the first time tonight. Kirchi, the junior outside hitter, stands 6'3", graduate of Newport Beach High School. As a freshman, he was an outside hitter, libero, and a serving sub. Last season, he was the starting libero at the L2 position in all but 2 games. Played in all 29, had a great service reception rate. That libero position has been a weakness over the last few years for UCLA since the graduation of Tony Gooch back in 2023. Matthew Aziz was also manning down that role in the national championship for UCLA, and it was the libero position that John Hawks looked to improve in the offseason, bringing in Chris Connolly. Luka Kirchi in his junior year excelled in the game against Vanguard earlier this season in the first matchup the Bruins had against the Lions. Had an ace in that game. Also appeared against Concordia Irvine in a sweep for the Bruins, only returning at libero. And he's the one on the floor here to serve for UCLA with 3 points to go in set 4. It's 22 serving 21. Kirchi's father, Anthony, was the captain of UCLA men's volleyball back in 1987, won the 1989 NCAA title under Al Skates. Kirchi, another one of those legacy men on the floor for the Bruins here in 2026. Alongside Trent Taliaferro, some legendary fathers whose sons now carry on the torch in the rivalry that is long-standing with Long Beach State. Kirchi's first serve into the tape, and it was too low, and Kirchi's first swing, fresh off the bench, we'll see him return to where he has spent the majority of these first 4 sets, making way for Chris Connolly in the back row. Jake Pizzanti will now serve for the Beach, having taken a quick break here a few points ago in set 4. Pauley Pavillion gets loud. Pizzanti serves across, passed out of the back row, up to Andrew Rowan, cross court to the left side. Zach Rama off the triple block, kept alive by one hand by Gajek, bumped out of the back row by Kondev. It's going to be close, joust at the net, won by Skylar Varga. Gajek put it up in no man's land, and Skylar Varga somehow comes down with the kill. Advantage Long Beach. 23-20. Timeout UCLA. John Hawks burns his second timeout in 3 points as Long Beach have taken the lead here, looking to force a 5th set on UCLA. The momentum continues to swing back and forth in this game. Long Beach State was up at the end of set 3 as well. They had 1 set point to put it away. They could not. UCLA came back and on their second set point were able to run out with a 27-25 victory. It was UCLA who came out on fire in set 1, hitting 625, and they opened up a 10-point lead that Long Beach never got close to. 25-15 the final score in set 1. Long Beach came back despite only hitting 296 in set 2 to win 25-23. In set 3, UCLA won in extra points, 27-25. It looks like we're set up for a great finish here. 23-22, and the energy around this building is a bit nervous. Only the second duel this season between these two teams, but even going late into set 4, it doesn't feel like both teams are showing their full hands here. Possibly readying for that third matchup at the end of the season. Nick McRae has prepared this Long Beach team to play every game with the end in mind, meaning every game is played as if they are preparing to take on the national championship game in April. John Hawks, now being here since day 1 of the 2026 season, has led this Bruins program to the precipice of now back-to-back wins over Long Beach State, avenging last year's national championship loss. But the business here in set 4 rests on the shoulders of Jake Pizzanti. 23 serving 22. Pizzanti tosses high, booms it across, passed out of the back row up to Andrew Rowan. Pushes left side to Rama, through the double block and down. Ice in the veins of Zach Rama. His 11th kill ties us at 23. And Andrew Rowan, the man who ended the game in the Pyramid with an ace in set 5 2 weeks ago, now heads behind the line. Nick McRae will call timeout, and we will step away briefly here on 22 West Radio. Join us in just under 30 seconds for the conclusion of set 4 between UCLA and Long Beach State on 22 West Radio. Timeout breaks, and we are ready to get back underway here at Pauley Pavillion in front of a raucous crowd and a student section that will now once again rise to their feet as they have all night long. A packed-out student section for UCLA has made all kinds of noise here at Pauley Pavillion, only sitting during timeout, standing for every single point tonight. And these next 2 points could decide the match, as Andrew Rowan is ready to serve with both teams tied at 23 in this decisive fourth set. UCLA up 2-1 as Rowan serves across, passed out of the back row by Larson. Pizzanti over to the scorer's table, has to set up Skylar Varga, who goes off the double block, and it's kept alive spectacularly. UCLA bump it back over the net. What a touch from Andrew Rowan. Pizzanti back set to Varga. Off the block, the beach recycle. Pizzanti over to Varga a third time off the double block and kept alive. Here come UCLA. Rowan first touch. Kelly pushes further on to Rama. Off the triple block, he tools it. Yam time for Zach Rama. And Pauley Pavillion rises to their feet. The beach had 3 bites of the apple to set up set point, and instead it's the Bruins who come away with the kill. Rama has 12, and Andrew Rowan can serve for the match. 24-23 in set 4. Fasten your seatbelts. Here we go. Rowan tosses high into the tape. And a gasp around Pauley Pavillion as we're headed to extra volleyball in set 4. 24 all. As the stadium sits back down. Varga serves across and out of bounds. He missed again beyond the back line. And now it'll be up to Zach Rama to put away match point number 2 for the Bruins. 25-24. Rama float serve across. Skylar Varga up to Pizzanti. Left side Kondev. He skied it into the bench. Tried to go off high hands and missed everything. UCLA wins in 4. 26-24. The final score in the decisive fourth set. And the Bruins take the victory and the season sweep back to Westwood. Grayson Bradford breaks from the huddle, does push-ups, looking dead in the eyes of Skylar Varga across the net. And UCLA avenged that national championship loss from just over 6 months ago, twice over now. A reverse sweep in the pyramid and a 4-set victory at home. UCLA remain undefeated. Long Beach dropped to 12-2. What a game between the 2 best teams in the country. For Long Beach State, Skylar Varga finishes with 18 kills. Wojciech Gajek finishes with a career-high 13. Ben Braun and Alex Kondev contribute 8, but Kondev, having picked up his 8th attacking error on the final play of the 4th set, finishes hitting dead even on the night. Jackson Christ, 3 kills for the Beach. Jake Pizzanti dumps down 2 kills, and it is 46 assists that will also be credited to the redshirt junior. For UCLA, Cameron Thorne steals the show with 13 kills on 16 swings. He hits 8-12. And Sean Kelly comes up clutch time and time again in set 4 to finish with 13 kills. Zach Rama finishes with 12. Michael Wong Diallo, returning to the starter's position at middle blocker 2, picks up 6 kills. That will do it for us here at Pauley Pavillion. Thank you so much for tuning in on a Friday night. I've been JayDe Beaudry, and the next broadcast on 22 West Radio will be brought to you tomorrow afternoon as Long Beach State men's basketball hosts the Matadors of Cal State Northridge inside the LBS Financial Credit Union tip-off at 6 p.m. Follow along to 22 West Radio on Instagram and on YouTube for all things Long Beach State athletics. Long Beach State men's volleyball will return to face Concordia Irvine on the road on February 27th at Concordia Irvine. For now, though, it finishes with UCLA winning 3-1 over Long Beach State. What a match between the 2 best teams in men's volleyball. For myself, JayDe Beaudry, Brianna Wangsu Pogpon around the pyramid, and Kaylee Gallagher, our sports director, also roaming around doing social media. This has been Long Beach State men's volleyball on 22 West Radio. Thank you for joining us, and have a great weekend. We will see you next time.